Good morning and welcome to Miracles with Mary Ellen. Of course, I'm Mary Ellen, and you can always connect with me through AskMaryEllen.com. Today is Learning to Love Yourself, Part 2. Part 2? Wow, Mary Ellen, I missed Part 1. Okay, so let me go over Part 1 briefly for all of you. For Part 1 on Learning to Love Yourself, I took a couple of rocks that I've had since I was a kid. And one was a very smooth rock, like this. And one was a rock that was kind of smooth, but still had some jagged edges. And I was talking about how this smooth rock had the water rushing over it day after day after day. And how this rock had the water going over it maybe for a little while, but since it had been on the side of the stream, it still had some jagged, critical edges. And I compared that to the love of God. How the love of God, when we allow it to wash over us day after day after day, makes us into those loving, grateful, kind, compassionate people. Yet, when we allow the love of God to wash over it, maybe only on Sundays or once in a while, yet we still keep our critical, sharp edges, we become like this rock. So step 1 on learning to love yourself was becoming aware of yourself. Becoming aware of, are you a round, soft, loving rock? Are you aware of what you are doing? Are you aware that other people aren't doing anything to you? You are choosing to see whatever you are seeing. And step 1 is really one of the hardest steps, because I teach a theory of 1 finger out, 3 fingers back, which means the good you see in others is the good you have inside yourself. And conversely, the things about other people that hook you or bother you are God's way of showing you what you need to work on in yourself. Now, if you just see something that's horrible and you drop it, you're okay. Yet if you see something like somebody being jealous or greedy or any of the negative characteristics, critical, complaining, whatever, and you can't drop it, the next day you're going, why was he so critical? You just keep harping on it and harping on it. Okay, it does mean, okay, he did something incorrect, that's right. Yet why are you seeing it that way? What do you need to learn from that situation? So awareness is a huge, big first step. Of course, awareness is not the number one truth. The number one truth is God is. I am the Lord thy God. That's it. Then you go into step 2 of awareness, learning to love yourself. Step 1 is learning to let yourself, you know how if you've been hiding in a darkened closet for a long time and you haven't had any light, and you start to peek out and that light hurts your eyes. Well, becoming aware of yourself hurts, because we all like to see ourselves of, I didn't do that, she made me do that, or he made me do that. No, if you're seeing it, if you're hearing it, and if you're feeling it, then you're the one that has the issue, not the other person. And it's not that the other person didn't say something incorrect, or, why did you listen to it? Why did you make that choice? So once you become aware, which is learning to love yourself, step 1, and it's on my YouTube channel, then step 2 is learning to use that awareness to create the kind of life you want. So what happens once you learn awareness is God, the universe, whatever you want to call it, puts situations in your life. And you'll be going around in your life going, God, this stuff is really working. And then all of a sudden, you do what I call, you fall in the hole in the sidewalk. And something happens to you and you react and you explode. Because that is God teaching you. When you're going along and you're becoming aware and something happens, you stop. You respond out of love as you learn. Reaction is always fear-based. where love is always your higher power. Love takes fear and crushes it. You know, if you approach fear with fear, what do you get? You get an explosion. So, learning to love yourself, step one, was becoming aware if you are allowing the love of God to wash over you every single second of every single day, or do you still have those critical, judgmental issues? So, step two on learning to love yourself is using that awareness to create the life you want. So, you do this by visualizing. Change your thoughts, change your life. What do you want in your life? What do you truly want? And I don't mean, all of us would like to have, I guess, $1 billion or whatever. Yeah, what do you truly want? And if you're not happy with what you have now, you'll never be happy with more. You have to always embrace your inner self and say, okay, I'm going to visualize, selling more and more books. I'm going to visualize someone from a morning news show seeing one of these videos I do and going, wow, we've got to have her on this channel. I visualize things like that. And I have a vision board that I do. And then I have a vision box that I'll cut out words. Now, when you envision something, be very careful because you want to envision things as you want them to be, not as they are now. A lot of people will envision things like, I'd like to have a relationship. Okay, what kind of relationship? A male relationship, female? Be specific. What do you want them to look like? What characteristics do you want them to have? Because the universe will say, well, okay, we'll send her a relationship. And it might be somebody that abuses you or hits you. And if you're in a situation like that, get out. Because you are a child of God. You deserve way better than anybody abusing you ever. Learning to love yourself. And people always say to me, well, Mary Ellen, that's selfish. I was taught I shouldn't be selfish. I'm not talking about being selfish. I'm talking about that you love yourself enough to be kind to others. You love yourself enough to give to others. You love yourself enough to be compassionate and kind and inspire others every single day. Loving yourself is work. And although I've been writing these truths today through all my books you see behind me, and I've been putting them on social media, I still work at learning to love myself every single day. And you're going to say, well, Mary Ellen, and I do. I have peace within my soul now. And I'm very happy with my life now. And God sent me such a beautiful husband and my husband, Pete. And my daughter is so wonderful. And I'm going out to visit her. And, life is good. And when you see life as good, you get more and more and more good. When you see your life as negative, oh, I don't have this, I don't have that, you're going to get more and more negative. So envision your life as you want it to be, not as it is now. Because anyone who begins the new year like by saying, I don't want to gain any more weight. Well, guess what? You just asked God for more weight. Because God does not hear negatives. You want to say, this year I'm going to achieve my perfect weight. This year I'm going to be my perfect weight. This year I am my perfect weight. Just like God is, you are. And there is only one. There is only God. There's not God and Mary Ellen. There's a little piece of God in Mary Ellen so that I can inspire you. There's a little piece of God in every single one of you that's watching this. So go forward today and be kind. Learn to love yourself. And if you need any kind of assistance, go to askmaryellen.com and click on what you need help with and get any of my books. All of them will help you learn to love yourself and live in the truth and the peaceful life that you deserve. I'll see you on Thursday for Mary Ellen's Miracle Moment. Until then, enjoy life and have some fun. Go learn to love yourself. Bye-bye.